Hi guys, welcome back to the desktop for another rules breakdown, and this week we've been doing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Other Strangeness, the 1985 role-playing game by Palladium Games. Now, the rule system it uses is basically the same one as they use in Palladium Fantasy and Rifts, and many of the other Palladium games. So I've already covered it in the Rifts rules breakdown, but there's a few little differences, so let's go over them. So, TMNT is a percentile system. If we look at one of the sample characters at the back here, we can see that his skills are all percentiles. So, as always with percentile skills, it's just a matter of rolling under them. So we rolled 13, so basically succeeded on any of his skill rolls. Now, you've got scholastic skills, secondary skills, and these all increase at different rates as you level up. But it doesn't matter, they're all percentile based. You roll your percentile dice against them to see if you succeed. So, initiative. If we turn to the combat section on page 60, we can see determining initiative. Now, successful sneak attacks or long range attacks will always have initiative for melee. However, if opponents are just facing each other in melee combat, you're rolling a d20 and whoever rolls highest wins. In the event of a tie, you re-roll and then work out and see who wins. And it's as simple as that. So opponent number 1 rolls an 18, opponent number 2 rolls a 4. Now the only element in melee is, if we look at the characters here, we can see that Fred Hamster has attacks per melee 2, whereas Gorbachev here has attacks per melee 4. Now, what happens in combat? So, the two of them roll their d20. So, Gorbachev gets a 13. Hamster gets a 14, so he goes first. Now, they go through their combat action. And then for their second combat action, they roll again. Gorbachev gets a 4. Fred Hamster gets a 10, so he goes first. Now, for actions 3 and 4, well, Fred Hamster's out. So, Gorbachev gets to go first and only in those. And that's how the initiative system works. You're rolling a d20 and you're going through your actions, rolling a separate d20 for each separate action within a round. Now for combat, it might depend on your combat skill. If we go to page 23, we can see hand-to-hand combat skills. So if you've got skill levels in hand-to-hand combat, you get bonuses on your dice roll. So +2 to pull roll with punch fall, +2 to parry dodge, 2 attacks per melee, +2 to strike, +2 to damage. And so on and so forth. You get different advantages as your skill level goes up. But apart from that, you're just rolling a d20 and you're trying to get higher than a 4. So we've rolled a 17 there, so we hit. Now what also might happen is a character might have armor. Now the way armor works can be slightly different depending on whether it's natural armor or whether it's artificial armor. So if you're wearing like a bulletproof vest, it might give you an armor rating of 8. So the opponent would have to roll an 8 to damage you. However, if they still rolled above a 4 to hit, but below the 8, then they would damage your armor instead of you. If you've got natural armor of, let's say, the 8, then the opponent just has to roll above an 8 to damage you at all, because your natural armor doesn't take damage. You just become a lot harder to hit. So turtles, for example, with their shells, can take a large amount of damage. In combat, you can also parry. Now, that is free for people who have earned it through their weapon skills. So if we go back to page 23, we can see +2 to parry dodge. Basically, as soon as you've got any hand-to-hand skills, you gain the ability to parry, but you can get bonuses on it at various levels. However, if you don't have any combat skills, you can still attempt to do it, but at the cost of one of your attacks. But if you've got the ability, then you get it free. And it's just a matter of rolling a d20 and seeing if you get higher than the attacker's roll and if you do, you've successfully parried. Now, damage is dependent on the weapon you're using. So if I flip over a few pages, we can see his various weapons. Katana does 3d6 damage for top quality, 2d6 for a regular quality sword. An Odachi does 3d6 damage. And it's just a matter of rolling that. So an ordinary katana, we're rolling 2d6, we do 6, we do 2, so we've done 8 points of damage. Now, damage in Turtles is handled through hit points and SDC. Your SDC are what are lost when you take damage. And once they're gone, then you start to take hit points damage. Now, SDC recover far faster. So if we turn to page 66, I believe it is. Recovery of SDC points. Characters naturally recover their SDC at a rate of 5 points per hour of rest and relaxation. So characters can easily heal that back. However, hit points require medical intervention to heal back. They are sort of permanent damage, where you need a doctor or a first aider to heal you up. Now, when you've lost all your SDC, you can heal back as normal from it, but roll on this table when 80% or more of SDC points are depleted, and the impairments are temporary, lasting 2 to 8 days, 2d4 days length. And you can get minor bruises and lacerations, severely bruised and battered, and so on up to damage back or pelvis, and disadvantages that they get for having them. You also have side effects from physical hit point damage. When you've lost 75 to 99% of your hit points, these effects last 1 to 4 weeks, 1d4 weeks. Severely battered and bruised, right up to severe concussions, -8 on all skills, speed -3. Now, surviving coma and death, when a character's hit points are reduced to 0, you collapse, lapsing into a coma. This character is near death and will die in a matter of hours unless she receives immediate medical treatment. How much damage below 0 a character can undergo is indicated by the physical endurance attribute. Character may take 1 point of damage below 0 for each PE point. So, flicking back to here, physical endurance of Fred Hamster is 10, and Gorbachev is 22. So, Fred Hamster can go to -10. Gorbachev can go to -22. And obviously, you can get healed back from those. But you will take disadvantages because you have been severely injured. And advancement. Well, you gain experience points. And depending on your number of experience points, you go up levels. Now, it's got examples here for awarding experience points. So, performing a skill, successful or not, 25. Clever but futile idea, 25. So on and so forth. Killing or subduing Great Menace is worth 150 to 300. Now, when you gain a level, your skills all increase. And your hit points increase. So you roll 1d6 and add that to your hit points. And so that is a very brief look over Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Other Strangeness. It's a fast system. It's quite fun, although it has some peculiarities to it. The fact that your skills don't really seem to have that much effect on your dice rolls in combat. Everybody pretty much has the same amount of chance of hitting people. But if you can accept those peculiarities, Turtles is a whole load of fun, and I highly recommend it. As I said in my retro RPG, I think it's a great pity that Palladium gave up the license because Turtles became too recognized as a kid's show and a kid's toy. But anyway, I think I've whittled on for quite long enough. Many thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe and comment below, as it does do me massive favours with the YouTube algorithm. But, as always, most of all, you look after yourselves. I'll catch you later. Bye now.